Did it pass? It's already come. All right, the bill's been passed. It's at the president's desk. Let me know. Oh, he did sign it. It's all done. Okay, Callaghan, sorry, we just passed a bill. You can't retire. Well, actually, I wish we could because we're sure going to miss you. But I want to congratulate you on a fantastic career. You've been a model journalist, delivering facts to your viewers in ways that were unbiased, that helped inform people in the state. You've really contributed mightily to the public dialogue in the state of Maine during your career. I'm really sorry that you're leaving. I understand it. You've worked hard and you deserved a break, but I just want to say, number one, we're going to miss you. Number two, congratulations. Number three, mostly thanks for the great work on behalf of News Center, but also the people of Maine.
I've always seen you as someone who brings great value to the world, Pat, whether as a serious anchor covering the news or a mischievous leprechaun quoting Monty Python. I think you're going to enjoy retirement, and take it from me, there are lots of fun, interesting, and meaningful things to do.
I think it said in the paper you've worked for the company for over 40 years. That completely blows my mind. 40 years? Anyway, I have many, many fond memories of the fun we had. I don't think we ever had an angry word with each other. My takeaway from knowing you has always been that you are thoughtful and knowledgeable and kind. And I know these are the kind of things you say when you do something like this, but in fact it's true, and I believe it. So good luck to you.
Have fun.
Thank you, Pat, for your kindness, your integrity, your steady hand, your curiosity, your trustworthiness, and for the love you have of this state, her institutions, and her people. You at the helm of the nightly news for so long has brought people comfort, and they knew who to rely on and where to go to know about the important things happening in the state and the interesting and amazing things about the state. So you may be retiring, but the legacy that you leave for future news reporters, for future anchors, and for the people of this state about what is great about Maine will be with us forever. Thanks and enjoy.
Pat, I can't believe that you're retiring. We have known each other for more than 40 years. I first met you when I was a young senator and you were brand new at WLBZ in Bangor. And what I've appreciated over the years, as difficult as it has been to draw a distinction between fair coverage and favorable coverage, you are always able to draw that distinction. You brought to the people of Maine a sense of integrity about facts and not about speculation, not about conspiracies, but about the truth. And I think the Maine people have been deeply impressed with you, as I have over the years. So the one thing that has changed is you're leaving television. The one thing that's not changed is you look the same as the day you first interviewed me more than 40 years ago. So congratulations on a great career. Good luck in the years that remain there in which you try something different.
I'm Bill Green, News Center, Maine, 1972 to 2019. People ask me what I do in my retirement. I watch this guy, Pat Callaghan, as I have since when? 1978? We had so much fun in the newsroom, doing Rapper's Delight, Skiddly Bebop, We Rock, Scooby-Doo. Guess what, Pat Callaghan? We love you. And Pat, I do. You know, I just think of your wedding. I think of that time we were going to the hockey game out of Bangor. We were going down to New Hampshire. We went off the road, and as we went off the road, I yelled, "Be cool, be cool." And you yelled, "I am cool." And you were exactly right. You've been cool for 40 years. You've been a great broadcaster and an even better friend. And I'm just happy to know you. Good luck in retirement, Pat.
When I think of Pat Callaghan, I think of two things: dogs, because he loves them, and politics. And Pat, I will never forget our first trip to Washington, D.C. together to interview Senator Angus King and Susan Collins. I was a young reporter and I learned so much on that trip, including how you keep your hair perfectly coiffed all the time, but I won't tell your secrets. But in all seriousness, Pat, there is no one more deserving. In this crazy world we live in, you are always that steady voice and that calm for Mainers and for us here in the newsroom, and we wish you the best of luck.
Callaghan, you retiring, buddy? How am I going to hear your name now 42 times in an hour every day for the rest of my life? Every news report that you've done over there for the last 65 years or however long you've been over there, Lee Goldberg's been chomping at the bit going, come on, get this guy out of here. I want the big desk. Every day, though, I'm Pat Callaghan. This just in, I'm Callaghan. Thank you, Cindy. I'm Pat Callaghan. Let's take a look at sports and weather. I'm Pat Callaghan. First, we have a commercial break from the Furniture Superstore, but I'm Pat Callaghan. I'm really kind of Callahan-y. How are you going to slip your name into conversation now? I don't know. That's such a habit of yours, Patty Cakes. What are you going to do? Let's go to the deli at Shaw's, pull a number 6. That's me. I'm Pat Callaghan. Maybe you go to the dentist 5 days a week. Pat Callaghan. That's me. Pat Callaghan. Go to get a dinner reservation someplace. Party of 2. Pat Callaghan. That's me. Maybe you could join like a 12-step program just so you could say your name. Hi, everybody. I'm Pat Callaghan. Pat, we love you, buddy. All in good fun, man. Over the years, you are a class act. And there will and always only be one Pat Callaghan. Good luck, buddy.
Pat, I just wanted to wish you a lovely retirement. I figured it was more appropriate to send in a video since that's how most of our interactions have been over the last couple of years. And of course, from the ski mountain, because we all know my love of winter. But thank you so much for all of the advice that you've imparted on me. It's been so good to work with you. Wishing you lots of fun and excitement on your retirement.
Hey, Pat. I'm so sorry to hear you're retiring, but congratulations. And thank you for your many, many years of service to our state. You have been a wonderful anchor, journalist, moderator. I so much appreciate the great work that you do, your dedication to journalism, to the truth, to making sure that Mainers know what's going on and doing it in such a gracious, thoughtful, and intelligent way. We will truly miss you. I was just thinking about it the other day during the election season. What an even hand and how well you manage debates. I know some of us can be unruly at times, but you manage them like the best of them and do such a good job. So thank you so much for your service. And from one Beatles fan to another, I guess it's time to let it be. Thanks.
Hi Pat, Chris Cassidy here. I wanted to congratulate you on your 43-year career as a news channel anchor. Amazing. I remember in 1988 when I graduated high school and you became the anchor there at Channel 6. Those years have gone by quickly, but Maine's proud of you, and I'm glad to be one of those Mainers who's watched you along the way. Congratulations, Pat.
Breaking news is that you're retiring. Well, I guess it's actually not breaking news anymore, but it's implausible to me that there is a News Center Maine without Pat Callaghan's name attached to it. It's all I've ever known since I've lived here in the state of Maine for almost a quarter of a century now. What can I say? Not having you around is going to be tough to get used to. You always were to me like the Tom Brokaw of local news. I think whatever was happening in the world or the state of Maine, however crazy of a day it was, when we were home watching our televisions at night or nowadays whatever device we're watching the news on, you were always that kind of voice of calm who could put things into context and make us all understand what was happening in the world around us. You're a gem and you're a treasure of Maine broadcasting, and you will surely be missed. Wish you all the best.
Hi Pat, Chris Rose here. Wow, what can I say? 43 years. That is just simply amazing. When I came to work at the station about 35 years ago, I was behind the scenes for a couple of years, and then I worked alongside you as a reporter for many of the years that I was there, and you were always the guiding, steady hand, getting through every single newscast. And think of the longevity, 43 years. That is just unheard of in media today. You were always a professional, and you are now the legend. Enjoy your retirement.
Pat, you and I have done the New Hampshire primary together quite a few times. I'm going to miss seeing a familiar face when we're in that wonderful, sometimes it's a Radisson, sometimes it's a Holiday Inn. The name changes, but the location doesn't. But we're going to miss you. I know Portland is going to miss you. When I've spent a lot of time in Portland in the summers. My daughter's been a longtime camper in Maine, and it is always good to see a familiar face when I'm hanging around Maine. So Pat, enjoy retirement. Thanks for the 43 years. Thanks for the tremendous support you've given Meet the Press over the years, and for being such a great colleague from afar. Good luck, and I look forward to your next chapter.
Patrick, 43 years, and I worked with you for 3 of them. I'm lucky to have taken over the 11 p.m. from you. It was a huge honor. I had a huge loafers to fill after 30 years of solid, amazing journalism. I always say that you could trust Pat with the news, and you could also trust Pat with your kids. I'm lucky to have you and Karen babysit for our son, too. I'll never forget that moment. I am hoping you a great retirement and many, many peaceful walks on the beach with Fitzy. And I still have that bottle of bourbon that you gave me when I left. I save it for special occasions. Here's one of them. Pat, we'll miss you.
Pat, congratulations on a very well-deserved retirement. I wanted to say thank you, not only for the excellent journalism that you've done over your career, but especially for being such a caring mentor for all of the young journalists, and to me in particular. Because I know that anytime I had a question about how I was going through my reporting process, or even if I had a question about how to write a sentence or a phrase, or even down to one word in a script, or even just a gut check about were we going about this the right way, you always took the time to share your experience and teach me what you would do. And that meant the world to me, and it means the world to me as a young and growing journalist, that you would take the time with all of the expertise that you have to pass a little bit of that on to the people who are going to carry on the legacy for the standard of journalism that you have set for this news company and this station, both here in Portland and in Bangor. And I know that I would not be where I am in my career without all of your guidance and patience. And so with that, I wanted to say thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your retirement.
Callahan, this is Dale Arnold, host of the Bruins games on Nesson. What in the name of News Center Maine is going on here? After 33 years of sports talk radio in Boston, I retire and I move back here to Maine. I commute from Maine to Boston to host the Bruins games on Nesson. I did all of that for 3 reasons. 1 was to see deer out my back door. We may see one any minute now. 2 was to be in better position to stalk Bob Marley. 3 was to watch you on News Center Maine. And they tell me you're retiring? Come on, 43 years? Give it a go for another year, maybe 2. I mean, what the hell? In all seriousness, what a legend. What an unbelievable career you've had here. You've been able to work with some of the truly greats of Maine television history, and you've become part of that Maine television history as well.
It's hard to believe that it was 1979 when Pat Callaghan showed up at the Channel 2 studios. I had been there 1 year, happy to have him take over the role of cub reporter on that great team that included Don Kerrigan and Bill Green, among others. Quickly learned that Pat was one of the biggest Beatles fans I ever known. Pat and I have a shared love of the humor of the late great comedian Rodney Dangerfield, and we could send Rodney lines back and forth for seemingly as long as anybody wanted to hear them. So as you head off into retirement, Pat, as the late great Rodney would say, just give me one of these. Just give me one of these.
Hey, this is Dan Harris, former WCSH anchorman on the weekends back in the 90s. I think I was 23 years old when I arrived at WCSH back in the mid-90s, and I was very lucky to have as a mentor and friend one Pat Callaghan, who really modeled for me a passion for journalism, a steadfast commitment to being even-handed and fair, and a real love of Maine and the viewers. In fact, in your honor, I'm wearing a lobster sweatshirt right now. I just want to say, Pat, thank you for all of your hard work and your mentorship and friendship over the years. Congratulations to you on a brilliant career, and nothing but love and respect.
Congratulations, Pat, for an incredible career. For nearly 5 decades, you have brought into our homes the latest up-to-date news, and you've done that with distinction and with class. You have that special quality of being able to blend seriousness with that sense of humor when it's appropriate. Throughout your career, you have singled yourself out with credibility by virtue of the way that you do the news with grace, with humility, and certainly with that quiet confidence. Your experience has earned you trust by the viewers. And certainly your knowledge of policy and issues have been a hallmark of your success during your entire career. Whether you're reading the news or perhaps reporting on an interview with a dignitary, or maybe it's even managing the chamber's gubernatorial debates during the time that we have been together. You've done it all with the skill of an artist at work. Pat, you deserve the very best because you are the very best. We wish you nothing but good health and certainly happiness as you take on your next chapter. And please remember this. This is not saying goodbye. It is simply showing appreciation and gratitude for your service to the people of Maine. And thank you for that.
Pat, when I look back on my time at News Center and the many shifts that I worked there, I have to say my time on Nightside with you as our leader was probably my favorite. We had a great crew, we had a lot of fun together, but we also worked really hard and took our jobs really seriously. And I think that says a lot about you as a mentor. You were always the first to have a witty comment or a sarcastic joke, but also somebody who operated with the utmost professionalism and integrity. So I think in Maine News, you are never going to be replaced. There will never be another Pat Callaghan. But hopefully you can rest assured that you have inspired and mentored a whole new generation of journalists who will continue to use you as their gold standard and try their best to follow your example.
Congratulations on your retirement, Pat Callaghan. As a fellow space enthusiast, you have been helping enrich the lives of Mainers for decades now, and we appreciate all of the news you have provided us. I'm sure that some of your space shuttle coverage was part of the reason that I was inspired to be an astronaut and set off on this journey of my own. Congratulations, thank you for all that you have given the great state of Maine, and the best of luck in all of your future pursuits. NASA astronaut Jessica Meir, signing off.
Hey Pat, Nirav Shah with the Maine CDC here. I wanted to wish you all the best on your well-earned and well-deserved retirement. You know, one of my fondest memories was during the pandemic, during all of our various news conferences, particularly during the worst of it, I decided for no particular reason to give you a different nickname during every press conference. Admiral Pat Callaghan, Duke Pat Callaghan, and the purpose was really just to lighten the mood, and you took each one with stride and good humor. You know, I've heard from so many Mainers who have fond memories of watching you at your kitchen table, reading out the weather report with your cat Togus causing mischief right by your side. And that just speaks to how trustworthy you are across the state. Pat, on behalf of all of us at the Maine CDC, we thank you. You are truly one of a kind, completely unmistakable, and we wish you all the best on your retirement.
Oh, Pat, what can I say, my friend? I'm going to miss the days we did our fifth quarter skits over here together that you were always a part of. I'm certainly going to miss all the time that was spent in this office, the sports office, where you would come in and you and Bruce and I would debate whatever the latest topics in sports are. I do want to apologize to you for that Super Bowl when the Patriots beat the Seahawks on that last second interception by Malcolm Butler. We were next to each other in the press box, and I remember grabbing onto your thigh and like screaming and squeezing so tight. I'm really sorry about that. I did not mean to hurt you. You have been a tremendous mentor, a friend, a colleague, a true leader in our newsroom. Congratulations to you and Karen on your retirements, and I'm super happy for you, and I know I'm going to see you around the neighborhood, so that makes me happy.
Hey Pat, I was lucky enough to sit across from you during some of my time at News Center Maine. You'd go over my scripts, make them way better than anything I could have written, and talk about stories you covered over the years. Most memorable for me, the peace talks in Northern Ireland. And then I'd get to watch every night as you delivered the news in that measured style that people have come to trust. We'll miss that. I learned a lot from observing that, but we wish you an absolutely amazing retirement. Congrats, Pat.
Pat, thank you for being uniquely you. When Mainers turn on their TV and see you talking about their town, they know you're speaking with honesty and care for them. I've known that my whole life. Watching your newscast when I was 12 helped spark my dream of being a journalist. And to my fellow Mainers, as someone who went from a viewer to a coworker, know that Pat is just as genuine and kind as you can imagine. We deserve him, and Pat, you deserve a happy retirement.
Hi, Pat. We've known each other for over 20 years, but we rarely get the opportunity to work together. You work in the evenings, I work in the mornings. So I actually kind of have the same perspective as a lot of our viewers. I've welcomed you into my house every evening, and you've been on TV in my living room while I'm making dinner and eating dinner with my family. And now it's never going to be the same again. And that's going to be a big disappointment for us. You've been part of our lives when I'm at home and, of course, at work too. Pat, you are one of the GOATs, the greatest of all time, and I wish you all the best in your retirement. Take care.
He is an icon and has been a leading voice, nay force, in Maine news for decades. Pat Callaghan has been a mentor to so many of us who have gone through that News Center Maine newsroom, including myself. Pat, thank you for everything and best of luck in your retirement. Well deserved, my friend.
Hi Pat, it's Jackie Ward. I just wanted to say congratulations on your retirement. What a fantastic move for you and Karen, but more importantly, thank you. Thank you for everything that you taught me. Your professionalism is unmatched and your heart is ginormous. We are so lucky that you are in our lives. Now kick up those Converse and enjoy retirement.
Pat Callaghan, remember me? Jan Fox, that old lady that Jeff Marks hired. Even though I'd never been an anchor a day in my life, didn't take you guys long to figure it out when I called Machias. And then there was that time the neighbors near the station were getting a new sidewalk. They wanted the original brick. The city was giving them cement, to which Bruce Glazier didn't miss a beat. Hey, Foxy, you can come swimming in my cement pond. I swear I heard him say hillbilly when he finished under his breath. So you were great, and it was no wonder to me that when I went out in the community and I mentioned Channel 6, first line I always heard was, oh, we just love that Pat Callaghan. Well, they loved you back then. They're going to hate you when you go. So I want you to know that retirement doesn't have to mean a bad thing. I asked my husband the other day, can a woman just live on tennis and golf and volunteering alone? The answer was yes. So I call it reinvention. You just take the 2 or 3 things you love most right now, and you go right out there and love them a lot more in all of your newfound free time. You earned it. You deserve it.
Hello, this is Governor Janet Mills. For more than 40 years, Maine people, including myself, have tuned into News Center to hear Pat Callaghan talk about the stories that matter most to our lives. In his reporting and in the anchor chair, Pat has become a trusted, valued source for the news, someone who asks tough, thoughtful questions in a fair and respectful way, someone who got to the heart of an issue, and someone who told Maine people what they needed to know, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, but above all else, the truth, because that's what Maine people deserve to hear. Pat has done so with humor and with humility, and with a profound respect for the weight of the words he carried and for the impact that they would have on the lives of those who hear his words. Pat, like many Maine people, I'm saddened to see you leave News Center, and I will miss your calm, steady, and reassuring voice at the beginning of every newscast. But I am so grateful for your unparalleled contributions to our state. We are truly fortunate to be the beneficiaries of your wisdom and your skill. On behalf of all Maine people, I thank you for your service to us, and I wish you all the best in your retirement. Thanks, Pat.
Hey Pat, Jared Golden here. Just wanted to congratulate you on 43 years of service to the people of Maine, bringing them the news and access to the information that they need and deserve. We appreciate the way you've done the job, your professionalism always, and I myself personally have enjoyed getting to know you, enjoyed doing interviews with you, talking about the job of being in Congress representing the people of Maine. And hey, I just want to say congratulations on a well-earned retirement, and congratulations on having lived such an interesting and just professional career of excellence telling the news.
Pat, thank you for being such a great friend and mentor all of these years. And congratulations to you and to Karen. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family. I hope you get to travel a lot and maybe listen to a few Beatles songs in the next few years. I hope to see even more of you now that you'll have more time. Congratulations.
Pat, word around SoPo is that you're retiring. Congratulations. I feel so lucky that I got to not only grow up watching you, but also work with you later on. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you at Reds.
Pat, we do wish you and Karen only the best as you embark on that next chapter in your lives. And I should say, I always will recall the year that you became the co-anchor of the 6 o'clock news, because it was in 1987, the same year I was sworn in as governor. And Pat, that was a long time ago. In fact, I dare say that for millions of Mainers over the past 3.5 decades, you have been the person that they have trusted to bring them the news and the information they knew they needed to know. And as a recovering politician, I can say I always appreciated your professionalism and fairness, and especially your ability to ask the right questions in your approach to the news. You'll truly be missed, my friend.
Hi, Patrick. Congratulations on joining the retired group of Channel 6 anchors. And now that you're no longer working nights, I'm going to bring you to my favorite Italian restaurant here in North Conway and let my buddy feed you.
I can't wait to see you, Pat. Congratulations. And oh, by the way, we've got a big pot of meatballs on the stove in the back. And a lot of crusty Italian bread. We're waiting for you to come down. Don't make me wait too long because Joe might eat all the meatballs. Or maybe I'll eat all the meatballs. One of us, or maybe both of us. Again, congratulations. I look forward to celebrating with you.
I'm so happy to be able to do this. When I saw the announcement in the newspaper, I was just said so many things I'd like to comment on in terms of Pat and my experiences with him as a member of Congress, as the governor, and in the state legislature. And I enjoyed him when he was in Bangor. And he and Don Kerrigan moved down to Portland with Bill Green. And you guys have never lost touch with the people in northern and central Maine. And you are in complete Maine network, and you've helped Pat bring that to the forefront. And I appreciate your leadership. And you've always been a good friend, and you've done your reporting and your stories, but you've always been able to keep a personal relationship. And there aren't many people in the journalism business that can do that. So I'm very pleased to be able to convey to you how much you meant to me and to the state of Maine, and that we're both going to miss you seriously, and hope you and your family have a wonderful time in retirement. God bless you.
Pat, you are an absolute legend down at Channel 6. Hope you have a great time with your retirement, and thank you for everything that you did.
All right, 2 memories come to mind when I think about Pat Callaghan. The first was how nervous I was anchoring sports in front of him for the first time. I did not want to mess up sharing the set with such a legend. And 2, of course, Super Bowl 49, spending a week in Arizona with Pat and a crew that just could not be topped. We worked hard, we played hard, and then we came home with some confetti. Congratulations, Pat. Here's your confetti. Enjoy retirement. You are the man.
Congratulations, Pat, on your retirement. News Center is certainly not going to be the same without you. I had so much fun working with you in the time that I was there. The laughter that we shared, the stories that I heard, being around you, learning so much, and of course, always, the Simpsons quotes. All my best to you and Karen. I look forward to hearing more about your adventures as you move into this next chapter of life.
Pat, there are a few constants in life, and they include the sun rises, the sun sets, and Pat Callaghan will be on the news tonight. You are everything when I think about Maine journalism. You are the face that I see when I think about Maine news. You are integrity, you are authenticity, and you are ethics to the max. And you were such an inspiration to me as a young journalist working alongside you at CENTER Maine. You were absolutely intimidating. You're an absolute pillar in the newsroom. Even though I was just a blip in time, please know that your lessons and your thoughts, your leadership, that all is carried with me. And I am one of hundreds of people that can say that right now. Thank you so much for everything. Maine thanks you. You deserve a break. I hope you get that. Good luck with your next chapter, and thank you so much for being everything when it comes to the best of what Maine is. Also, on your way out, could you lock the door so that Lee, Don, and Sharon don't think about leaving? Thanks so much.
This goes without saying, this is a seismic shift in the TV news landscape in Maine. I've always admired your dedication to the people of Maine, making sure they're informed, making sure they're being heard. And I've always admired your taste in pop culture. So be well, enjoy this time with your family. This is so well deserved. Congratulations. I'm wishing you all the best.
So after all this time, Pat Callaghan has decided to finally hang up his microphone and retire. Great for him. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Terrible for us, because Pat Callaghan, in my opinion, is frankly irreplaceable. I've known Pat for almost 40 years, and here's the amazing thing about this. I have no clue if Pat Callaghan is a conservative or liberal, a Republican or a Democrat. I have no idea what his political view is, what his personal opinions are. And that is really the mark of the consummate journalist. When you don't know what a journalist thinks or believes individually and in his own life, what could be more ethical and more professional than that? And that's the story about Pat. He has been a moderator for debates. He's been a moderator for Political Brew, and we have no idea what his personal opinion is. He's able to talk to everyone of any political persuasion, and he listens. There's no finer journalist that I've known in my entire experience with the media world than Pat Callaghan. I don't know how we'll replace him. I hope he has a great time in retirement. He's going to be sorely missed by all of us, personally and professionally. I hope he doesn't go very far away. But congratulations. Thank you, Pat, for all your fine service you've done over the years to us individually and professionally.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Kelly, in tonight for Pat Callaghan. Hey, it's been a while since I got to say that. Of course, the truth is no one will ever be able to fill in for the Pat Callaghan. It was such a privilege working with you and being part of the CENTER family. Congratulations, Pat, for 43 fantastic years.
Hi everyone, I'm Kim Blog, honored to join in the send-off for my friend and Maine broadcasting legend, Pat Callaghan. Pat, you and I started just about the exact same time, and maybe it wasn't at the same station, but we have certainly shared a lot of Maine history over the last 4 decades, and you have been a solid, smart, dedicated reporter and anchor at every turn. You are also a very funny, very kind, and compassionate guy. When I suffered my traumatic brain injury, you were one of the first people to reach out, and I will never forget that. So Pat, thank you for being such an important part of our Maine broadcasting community. Enjoy your family, your dog, and lots of vinyl. Take care, buddy. I'll see you around.
Pat Callaghan. I am 2 minutes away from going live on TV in Boston, and in the 8 years I've now been doing this, the most intimidated I've ever been in this career was the time I was asked to temporarily fill your shoes. One weekend I was asked to fill in on Political Brew when you were off on vacation, and I have never been so intimidated because you have such big shoes to fill. You're so talented and so smart and so in tune with Maine news and Maine politics, the people of Maine, the leaders of Maine. Viewers have been so lucky for decades to have you watching them, and all of us who have worked as reporters at CENTER Maine have been so lucky to have you as a guide and just an absolute legend to learn from and to follow in the footsteps of. Nobody deserves retirement more than you do. I hope you have the most relaxing, amazing retirement, and thank you for all of your years of service to the people of Maine.
Even all the way up here in Bangor, you're still someone I really look up to as a reporter. I'm sure I'm not the first one to say this, but Pat, you will be missed.
Well, Pat, I consider you part statesman, political guru, and overall the most incredible storyteller that simply can't be replaced. Over the years, we've gone to you in a pinch for our stories, for a better expression or a better word, and I consider myself lucky because I sat next to you and it was pretty easy for me. Now, there's no way we can replace you. You're such an incredible journalist, such an incredible mentor to so many people, including myself. I just hope that we can carry on your legacy at News Center Maine. Enjoy your retirement. We'll miss you.
Pat Callaghan, congratulations on your retirement from News Center Maine. It was an absolute honor to sit next to you at the anchor desk, whether it was filling in for Cindy or the 5 seconds that we were in person doing the 5 p.m. before COVID hit. You were such a calm presence in the newsroom and your leadership is unmatched. I miss you so much. Send my love to Karen as well, and Fitzy, of course. Best of luck.
Hey, Pat. It's Lori Vornis from Q97.9. I know you're retiring, and I know this is your last week, and I just want to say thanks for 43 years of amazing journalism. You're a consummate professional, and I'm slightly obsessed with you. I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to miss seeing your face on my television every night. So we should probably do lunch. I think your wife's gonna love me. Congratulations, Pat Callaghan from News Center, Maine.
Hello from the Ravens Under Armour training facility here in Baltimore, Maryland. Pat, I just want to thank you so much for all of your words of encouragement in the times that I really needed them the most when I was in Maine, and doing it while being the most stylish guy on the planet, because nobody rocks a leather jacket and aviator sunglasses like Pat Callaghan. Happy retirement. Good luck.
First off, Pat, I think we need to say congratulations. But you want to talk about a bastion of knowledge when it comes to working in a newsroom. Pat taught me so much, and I'm just the weather guy. A tremendous loss certainly for the station, but 43 years is certainly an impressive run, and there's been a lot of great stories that Pat Callaghan has been able to cover and be a part of. So Pat, congratulations. Enjoy your downtime in retirement, and maybe instead of being on TV, you could just sit back, relax, and watch some.
4.5 years ago when I started in Bangor, Pat Callaghan was the first person to reach out to me. He wanted to tell me that I'm not the only UNH Wildcat here in Black Bear Country, and that us cats stick together. Since then, he has become a mentor and a friend, answering every question I have had. He's taught me how to cover politics here in Maine, and his mark on Maine politics and on the state is unforgettable. Pat, we are so excited for you and Karen to embark on this new journey in retirement, and I cannot wait to see all of your travel pictures. Good luck.
Hi, Pat. Tell me it isn't true. While we all knew this day would come eventually, it doesn't make it any easier. For over 4 decades, Mainers from all walks of life have welcomed you into their living room each evening. And for 24 of my 34 years in Congress, including all of my time in the Senate, you have been a constant and steady presence as co-anchor at the evening news desk. How fortunate we all were that you were there. Pat, throughout your tenure, I have long admired your unmatched professional excellence, knowledge, and grace. So as you close out your remarkable career, please take with you our gratitude and appreciation. I wish you and Karen the very best in whatever adventure you take on next.
Pat, we're going to miss you. You've had an amazing career, big impact in the community, and congratulations, but we're going to miss you.
I'm Paul Crane. Pat Callaghan and I go back to the very beginning. New Hampshire Public Television in the late 1970s. And back then, New Hampshire Public TV was so small, it was in the basement under the Student Union building on the campus of the University of New Hampshire, and was so small it didn't even have a bathroom. Employees at Channel 11 would have to go outside, no matter the weather conditions, along a walkway, up the main stairs, into the Student Union building to use a public college restroom. But we endured, and in 1980, I left to begin what would become a decent television sports career. Pat, of course, would go on to have a great television news career. And those of us who worked with Pat Callaghan back then knew he was destined for television greatness, not just because of his work ethic or his writing skills or his strong storytelling ability, but because of his hair. In my more than 40 years on the air, I may have never worked with a television anchor that had better TV hair than Pat Callaghan, and it's good to see that's still true today. My friend, enjoy a well-earned and well-deserved retirement. Congratulations. Love you, pal.
Patrick Callaghan, congratulations on an amazing career. You know, when I was back at News Center, I used to sit right near the door of the newsroom, and every morning that door would swing open and Patrick would come running through the door with his coattails flying, just like a cub reporter with a hot breaking story. Even after all these years, he never lost his love for the job that he was doing, and I always admired that. Patrick, I wish you good luck. If you find that you have some extra time in your retirement and you're looking for some volunteer gigs, we need lots of help up here at the MSSPA, so give me a call. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Hey, Phil, did you hear that Pat is retiring?
I did. Between you and I was a young man when he first joined News Center Maine.
I don't know how young you actually were, but you know, I appreciate you're saying longevity is important, but I don't actually think that's his best quality. I think his best quality is how well dressed he is. He must wear a suit walking his dog on the beach, you know what I mean?
Yes, he is well dressed, but his best quality is how hard he works. He's either on the air morning, noon, and night, or he's in our email suggesting topics for Political Brew.
Look, I think hard work is overrated. What makes that guy so good is how even-handed he is when he moderates debates.
Well, he is even-keeled, I'll give you that, but no matter what, he is steady as she goes.
Look, I just think that when you want a guy like that, you want him to be asking smart questions, and nobody asks smarter questions than Pat Callaghan.
He does, but to ask good questions, you got to be a good listener.
A good listener? Who wants to watch a guy listening on TV? I mean, what this guy does is he can get politicians to actually say something smart.
We both know politicians rarely say something smart. What he's really good at is getting them to get to the point so they don't talk too long.
Oh, you mean like you do on Sunday mornings?
No, actually more like what you do on Sunday morning.
Well, look, I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree on what Pat Callahan's best quality is, but I think we would agree we're all going to miss him.
Oh, indeed we are. Pat, congratulations. Well said and well done.
You had to get the last word, didn't you?
Yep, I just did.
Hey, Pat, I'm down in Florida scouting out your retirement home. I know you're going to love it. 40 plus years at one station. Can you believe it? I'm so grateful you allowed me to be a small part of it with Political Brew and all those great years we spent with Bill Nimitz on In the Arena. And I personally want to thank you for being on my show for 15 years every Thursday morning. We've learned so much from you. Maine is a better place because you chose to call it home. We love you. God bless you. Happy retirement, Pat.
I'm here today to say congratulations on your retirement, Pat Callaghan. In all seriousness, Pat, many people are going to say how much of a legend you were on TV, but off camera, you were one of the best mentors our newsroom could have ever asked for. You've inspired and helped dozens of journalists over the decades, and we could not be more thankful. And I personally want to thank you for always defending the greatest academic institution in the country, the University of New Hampshire. Congrats, Pat.
Oh my gosh, Pat, it is crazy to think how far we go back. One of my earliest experiences in the business was being your field producer for the 1992 presidential primary. I could not have asked for a better person to learn the ropes from. Thank you for all you have done for our station and the state of Maine over the years, and congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. You're the best.
Pat Callaghan, congratulations on an impressive run, one that will probably be unrivaled in this business going forward. Every time you walked into the newsroom, no matter how chaotic the day or how serious the story, we knew it was going to be okay because you were there. Congratulations, and we'll see you outside the newsroom sometime soon.
Pat, I just want to thank you so much for being an incredible role model and mentor and colleague during my time at News Center Maine. I am so privileged to have had the opportunity to report the news alongside you, and I look forward to seeing you outside of the newsroom. Congratulations.
Hi, Pat. We want to wish you a happy retirement. Very well earned. You've been a great resource for us, for the state of Maine, and we couldn't be happier for you.
Hi, Pat. Your career has been inspirational, all-pro, all-star with a great sense of humor. Thanks for being Maine's anchor all these years. And it was great fun singing with you. Let's do it again.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I loved you more. In my life, I loved you more.
Congratulations, Pat. Thank you. And we can all throw our TVs away now.
Pat, congratulations on your retirement and for your truly incredible career. It has been wonderful to get to work alongside you for the past 4 years. I really can't thank you enough for your willingness to share your stories and your experiences with me and with all journalists that come through News Center Maine. Because of you, our product and our reporting is better. We are able to share the stories that matter to Maine, and you have done that for your entire career. You have left a profound impact on this state, and I'm so lucky to have gotten to spend the time with you and learn from you. Congratulations, Pat.
Hi, Pat. What a pleasure it is to offer congratulations to you on your more than 40 years of distinguished service to broadcast journalism in our great state. Your dedication to keeping the people of Maine informed on important issues truly has made a difference. From the Maine Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame to the New England Emmy Awards, the many accolades you earned during your career recognize your talent, integrity, and dedication. Just as you earned the esteem of your peers in journalism, so too have you earned the affection and trust of people throughout our state. Sadly, your departure means that there will be no one left in the Maine press corps who shares my exquisite taste in music. Given your extensive record collection, you have mentioned that you might one day open your own radio station. While there may not be quite as large an audience for the classics anymore, like the Beatles, the Doobie Brothers, and Rod Stewart, to name a few, I can promise you that you will have at least one loyal listener, me. In announcing your retirement, you quoted a lyric from Angel Eyes by Frank Sinatra. But I think another song by that singing legend is more fitting in these circumstances, and that is "The Best Is Yet to Come." Good luck and best wishes.
Pat, I can't believe it. I can't imagine News Center without you. You set the standard for fair, balanced, good journalism in Maine. It was such a privilege to work with you, and so much fun. Congratulations, my dear friend, on a stellar career.
Hi, Pat. When I think about the gold standard in Maine television news, you are one of the first people, if not the first person, to come to mind. I grew up watching you, and it's been such an honor really to get to work with you in this newsroom and learn from you and just learn more about your incredible accomplishments over the years. I think the thing that stands out most to me, though, is that despite all of those accomplishments, you are just one of the most humble people, always quick to crack a joke in the newsroom or answer questions from rookie reporters like myself. Thank you so much for being a guiding light for News Center Maine, and I'm wishing you a well-deserved, restful retirement.
Hi, Pat. I know how much you loved rarities and B-sides, so here's one in far northern Maine. Tim Goff. We worked together for 16 years. I just wanted to say congratulations on a well-deserved retirement and just remark on how comfortable you were showing up anywhere to cover the story of the day, be it a living room in Scarborough listening to Devon Square and Schooner Fair get ready for their annual concert, or being in the scrums over in Manchester during the presidential election cycle. You're a credit to the craft, and I wish you well in your retirement.
I cannot imagine coming to Maine and not seeing Pat Callaghan on the news, a voice that we have trusted for so long, a guy who's so good at his job, he makes it look easy. And it's not easy. Sports is easy, as Lee will tell you. News, that's the real deal. No one's done it better than you, Pat. I hope you enjoy every moment of your retirement. We'll miss you on TV, but we'll see you soon.
Back when I was a little kid, waking up to go to school or watching the TV, I always grew up watching Pat Callaghan. Everyone knew who that name was. And it's sad to hear that you're taking another step in your life, but I do want to say, from people like me, we appreciate everything you've done for the state of Maine, and I hope nothing but the best for you and your family on your next path in your life.
Pat, thanks for being my Maine political encyclopedia. I've learned so much from you. Congratulations.
Pat Callaghan, you have no idea how much I admire your work and professionalism. But at the same time, you make the newsroom alive, and not having you here will be a huge void. You're a phenomenal journalist who has served and transformed thousands of Mainers and me in many ways. And don't forget to send me story ideas. I will always try my best to make you proud. Congratulations on a terrific career, Pat.
Happy retirement, Pat. As I know you have heard many times before, I too grew up watching you and remember sitting in my parents' living room, watching you and the team you were part of for so long, saying, I want to do that. So thank you for setting the bar so high, for being such an amazing example and walking Mainers through some of the most difficult and also celebrated times in the last 40 years. And thank you for inspiring me to be a journalist. Cheers.
Pat, in honor of your 43 years here at CENTER Maine, I figured I'd put together a list of the 43 reasons why I adore you. But then I realized we'd be here all day, so I'm sticking to the top 5, and they are, number 1, your institutional knowledge and objective approach to journalism. No one can cover politics like you can. Number 2, your impeccable attention to detail. Number 3, your excellent taste in music. Number 4, your quick wit that keeps us all laughing and on our toes. And number 5, your ability to connect with viewers in an authentic and meaningful way. I can't thank you enough for all of the lessons that you've taught me over the years. Cheers to this next chapter. I hope it's the best one yet, and break a leg out there. Mwah.